Hello and welcome back to the Adobe Premiere Pro tutorial series. So far we've looked at how you can import footage to Adobe Premiere Pro and also the very basics of editing. This week we're going to start looking at how you can manipulate and change that footage. So some very basic functions that are already there in Adobe Premiere Pro, and we're going to look at how we can use these to make your work a little bit more exciting, and even how we can use photographs or still images and make sure that they seem more dynamic and exciting. And yeah, lots of fun stuff I hope today. So as always, any questions, please leave them below. But for now, let's jump into the video. Hello everyone, so we're going to start as always by opening up Premiere Pro, and once again this is our test project, so let's put in our test footage here. And today we're going to be looking at some of the simple effects that we can use. So if you look at the top of the page, there are lots of different options for us to look at. To follow along today, make sure that you're clicked onto this one here, effects. Make sure that this is in blue. So the effects will come up in this window, but because we don't have a shot selected at the moment, sorry, I'm going to have to change that shot. Look at my silly face. Okay, it's a little bit more normal. So, apologies. As you can see that window is now empty. It's because we don't have a shot selected. So go to your timeline and with the selection tool, click on the footage that you would like to edit. So as you can see, we've got lots of information coming up. Now we don't have to worry too much about this, but there are a few things that we're going to do today. Thank you for the autosave. First up, we're going to want to get rid of this messy stuff in the background. We don't want this here. So the easiest way to do this is to change the scale. We can zoom in effectively. So which is this tool here, right at the very top. So there might be a chance that everything is hidden away like this to begin with. We want to look at motion. So if you can't see anything, look for motion and click on this arrow, and now we're going to look on scale. So there are lots of options we can do here. There's a slider, so you can use this like so to zoom out and in, or you can do the same up here, or if there's a number that you specifically want to use, you can type it in like so and it will zoom in. So what we want to do, we want to zoom in just enough to get rid of that messy laundry. I promise you it's clean laundry, but we don't want it in our shot. Okay, so this is how we can change the scale. Next up, the position. Maybe I feel like I'm not in the center, and there's two ways we can change the position. First up, we can do it like this. So this tool will move your frame left and right, depending on which way you want to go. And again, you can type in a specific number if you would like to. And the tool next to it, this will move the frame up and down. Okay, like so. So again, if you have a specific number you'd like to use, please do so here. Another tool that we can use, which is very, very similar, is rotation. Again, we can manually do it like this, or we can use this cool little animation and spin it round like this. Okay, so we've gone back a long way here, but I want mine on 0 degrees. Just have it a little bit boring, but there it is. So these are the main tools that you can use in effects for your shots, and they're really, really useful. Also, you might see that there is this stopwatch little animation, little icon here. So this will put in a keyframe, what's known as a keyframe, and it is kind of like a beginning point for a movement. So say if we leave our position here, we can then move ahead like this, and we can change the position so it's over here. So we've got 2 points. This is our start point, this is our end point. And if we go back to here, you'll see that Adobe has automatically put in this. They've connected those 2 points. So I'm just going to turn the audio gain down so you don't have to listen to my annoying voice twice. So it's coming up to that start point, and now it will start to move towards that end point. As you can see, this frame is slowly moving. Okay, but if we want to, we can just click on this. This action will delete existing keyframes. Do you want to continue? And OK. And now the keyframes have gone, but can you see this is now where we left our shot last time. So be careful with this. Okay, we can do the same for scale. So click the keyframe at the beginning of the shot and then zoom in or out to as far as you would like to. Let's zoom out because I don't think you want to see a close-up of my face. That would be horrific. So once again, we can play this, and as it starts to move towards that final destination here. And of course, we can do the same for rotation. So you want to spin it around a few times. So it should spin around about 3 times here. So it might seem a bit jerky. Once we render the shots, which I'll show you later, it should be much, much smoother. Okay, so now we're going to try and combine all of this together to show you what we can do. So I don't need the audio, so I'm going to unlink and delete. So what we're going to try and do, let's try and zoom in on Mirrorman in the background. So first step is to click the shot that we want to edit, and then this is our starting position. So create a keyframe here for both position and scale. Move ahead to when we want this to finish. And now we simply zoom in and reposition so that, thankfully, I am not the focus. Mirrorman is, who is Japan's best hero. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit more. Let's have a look. There we go. So we have our starting positions here, and this is where the shot will end up. So if we go back here, as I press play, you'll see these numbers automatically changing as they race towards this endpoint. Okay, so push play. Oh, it's not very smooth, sorry. But as you can see, the numbers are going towards their ending point. Sometimes my PC is a bit slow, so what I might do is I might render this work. This means to make it much smoother. This will show you what it looks like as a finished product. So if your PC is kind of like mine and being a bit jumpy, you can render the work and it should give you a good idea of what it will look like as the finished product. But it can take time. Okay, now the file has rendered. You might have noticed that this bar has turned green before it was yellow. This means that it is at the same quality that it would be when we're going to export the video. So this green bar may be green, which means it's going to run nice and smoothly. It may be yellow, which is giving you a rough estimation of what it might look like. Or if you're importing graphics, anything very, very complicated like this red bar will be red. So it won't really show you a very clear picture of what it will look like until you render it. So you don't normally need to render until you finish the editing. I was just doing it today to show you what this should look like. So let's try that again now that the shot has rendered. So we're entering our first keyframe. You can see these numbers are changing as we're moving towards our final position. And once it reaches this point, it will stay here unless we alter this again. It will add another keyframe and start working towards that as well. So this can be very useful when you're using something like a worksheet. So here I have a unit from a textbook I made called Movie Time. So I'm going to zoom in like this, and we're going to look at the top of the page. Here we go. Oh, there we go. That looks good to me. Again, this is just an example. And say I want to have the students read this page nice and slowly. I can click my keyframe at the start here, move along, and then simply have it scroll down the page here like this, and it will move along like this. Or I might want them to look at the top of the next page. So I'll move it up here and it will move along like this. Okay, my computer might jump around a little bit. So we can change the scale and the position or the rotation with these three tools, and adding keyframes can help make even static images like this seem much more fluid. And if you want a few more details, you can see what this movement looks like. So if you want to make that a bit smoother, maybe you can take this out like this. You can see it's not so jerky. So you can do the fine tuning of things down here. Okay, that's everything for this week. Next week, we are going to start looking at some of the effects that we can put onto our frames. But for now, if you've got any questions, please leave them below. But have a great day, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.